Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the hopes, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the brother Iron from the James to make a camp. Come with another quick lesson. And this lesson is going to be based on this precept right here, which is Proverbs 22 and verse 3. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." And this is a slight testimony of something that happened to me, today when with the earthquake in Haiti on Saturday. One of the part of the news was that they were scheduled to get a storm as well, right, which would actually pass Haiti, and then the storm would actually come on to Jamaica, right. Last night, I got wind that it was actually coming today, and last night, in about 1-2 o'clock, in the night, there were a lot of thunderstorms. There was a little rain, there was a lot of thunder, there was a lot of lightning, so this morning I woke up and seeing that it was scheduled for today. I checked the news websites, and I saw that it was actually, we're under a tropical storm watch, and there was a lot of rain scheduled and a lot of that. So the morning was a bit light, so to speak. When I looked outside, I could see that it was gonna rain, but it wasn't, it didn't seem anything out of the ordinary in regards to rain. So part of me was saying, what, seeing that we're under the tropical storm watch, I shouldn't go to work, I should call out. And another part of me was saying that I was just looking for an excuse, so anyway, I just decided that, look, I'm gonna go to work, and it so happened that the taxi that I took, it actually went further up, it made a turn, back to the opposite direction of work, to pick up somebody. And then after, while it was passing, the avenue that I needed to go on to go back home, there was a spirit saying that, go back home, because I was thinking about the article that I read about, the tropical storm and all that. Something was saying to me that, look, you need to go back home, still telling myself that I was being lazy. Went, while on my first stop, I have to take two taxis to get to work. So after the first stop, something was still there, like go back home, and I kept ignoring it. So got to work, went to work, about 2 hours into my shift, it got very, very dark, and at that point I was like, I definitely should have stayed home. So I started to speak to my coworkers, ask them if they knew about the tropical storm. Most of them said that they heard a few things here and there, but they not taking it too serious, things of that nature. Some were nonchalant, some didn't, it wasn't here nor there for them. So I saw that the place was getting dark. I knew that a lot of rain was gonna fall. And I reached out to my manager and asked him that, hey, can I work from home half of the day. They asked why. I told them because of tropical storm. So they say, in a bit, because I was saying that, look, if this starts, I won't be able to go home. Coming up to about half an hour to 45 minutes later, still can get any answers. And I was like, at this point I was starting to get at myself, like, why did you do this? You knew this was gonna happen. You read the article, you were aware of what was happening. What if you actually get stuck? That this would definitely be on you, right? So as I was saying that, what, if I'm gonna get a corrective action for going home, then that's the price I'm gonna pay. I was like ready to leave, and one of my coworkers be like, be patient, wait for the approval, just give them a little more time. And within 5 minutes of them saying that, I got their approval. And I was just thinking to myself that, look, spiritually, you you're really dropping the ball today, because that's a level of patience, right there. You're making haste in the time of trouble. And not only that, you are aware of the situation, yet you chose to come. And while I called a taxi, by the time I got a taxi and was on my way home, like, there was a lot of rain, the streets were starting to flood, everything. I was like, I shouldn't be here at this point. I was really, you know getting at myself, saying that, look, you shouldn't be here. Everywhere I went, the roads were flooded, and I knew that I was going to get home, but I was like, this could have been worse. It could have been a place where, the time where you were waiting, you would have gotten to some impossible road, or something like something like that, where you couldn't have got home, and it was because you ignored the warning, which was through the news article, and also you ignored the spirit. So eventually I got home, and I was thinking about it, and it reminds me of times when we read these scriptures, and we know that, hey, we shouldn't do this, or we know what's going to be the effect of a particular thing, and we know we ignore it, and then it happens, and we're like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. But also, it reminded me of also the unbelievers. We read these scriptures, we read the prophecies, we tell them what's about to happen, and they ignore, they ignore the signs. And even when it's getting more apparent, they're still ignoring the signs, until in the end, they get stuck. And I'm pretty sure a few of my a lot of people who were at work today, were aware about the storm. They weren't focusing on it until it was too late. And I was literally, I was the first one out. Like, I literally, I was the first one. I was the only one that saw what was about to happen. And when I got home after a couple of hours, there are a lot of videos started coming in of places that were flooded, walls that fell down, poles, some area without light, some area without water. There was a lot of damage done with the amount of rain. And then this precept came into my head. A prudent man foresee the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And even though in this instant, at least I was able to you know to hide myself, but it could have been a little too late. And it's a good thing that I looked out the window, and saw how I was actually preparing to get ready to leave. I was looking out the window, and it's a good thing that I didn't tell myself that it's gonna pass off, because I made up my mind that if I did not get that approval, I was gonna go home either way, because I wasn't gonna miss the sign a second time. So I think that's something that we could all learn from. I hope that this is edifying. And the whole point of it is just to to trust the spirit, trust your spirit. Of late I've been doing videos about making your own decisions, and trusting your spirit, and more importantly, filtering everything through the scriptures. All right, so let me just read this once more. Proverbs 22 verse 3: a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. All right, so once more, give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.